Hey guys, Jeff the Nature Guy here at ZooMontana, and it is National Zookeeper Week, and I've got one of our best here, Allyson Dredla, who is one of our wonderful keepers here. You are the Training and Enrichment Coordinator and the Wetlands Lead Keeper. A few questions for you, because I know a lot of people out there want to know all about being a zookeeper. It's a job that I know a lot of kids look up to, which is always fun to be a zookeeper and get those kids.
Oh, yeah.
So the first question I have for you is, tell me what a typical day looks like as a zookeeper. What do you do?
Typical day, well, most people think I get to come in and play with animals all day long. Let me tell you, there is a little bit of that, but not totally. We come in early, make sure everybody's feeling fresh, they're bright, alert, responsive. Sometimes animals have issues, you ever wake up and your dog's having a bad day. Our zoo animals have a bad day too. Come in, make sure everybody's good. We feed everybody. We clean their awesome habitats so they can go out and see all the guests, customers, kiddos. So after we get done doing that, we clean their night houses where they sleep at nighttime, do some dives, do some training, do some enrichment. It's also enriching for us, the zookeepers, too, to be doing all these different things every day. And yeah, pretty much the basics.
Yeah, I mentioned that's the case, and you kind of answered this question a little bit in there. So give me a misperception or a misconception of something that a zookeeper does. I mean, I think you kind of said it. Everybody always thinks you're going to see you playing with the animals. Maybe not always the truth there.
Yeah, not the whole. It is the truth, but not always the whole entire truth. That's probably like 5 to 10% of our day. Animals need a lot of care, and if you have a pet at home, you know exactly what that's like. People think having a hamster is easy, and boy, do those things stink. You gotta clean them out all the time. Dogs gotta get walked. They gotta buy all their supplies. Gotta take them to the vet. Our animals have lots of care. If you can imagine, taking care of a dog is hard. Try taking care of an elderly grizzly bear, or a wolf that might have a hydrocephalus, who needs medication and all that stuff. So
both animals that we have here at ZooMontana that you know a lot about. Tell me a little bit about the behind the scenes work in ensuring that the animals get the tip-top health care that they need, obviously to be healthy here at ZooMontana. And on top of that, the efforts that are being done, not just here at ZooMontana, but across the country for conservation so that their wild counterparts are here for generations to come.
Yes, I really like that question because zoos have come such a far way than they have in the last 10 years, 20 years, especially 30 years. Our animals here, they have an entire team of veterinarians taking care of them, not just us zookeepers here. We take classes and do research, and there's guidelines on how to make these guys beautiful, healthy ambassadors to showcase for people that want to come see these animals, to see how good they look. And when they see how great they are like, wow, that animal's awesome. I should really care about its counterparts living out in their natural habitat. So through quality care, we can really get people to care about the wildlife.
Absolutely. And then that of course translates into dollars, which then we can like most zoos do, give to organizations that are doing the on-the-ground field work, which is amazing. And obviously every zoo is different in what they support, but there's an amazing support system out there to the tune of AZA Zoo is giving over $250 million per year to those efforts on the ground, which is just striking to think about. So, go ahead.
Oh, I say, even otters. I'm the otter keeper here, so how much have we given to our otter conservation?
You put me on the spot. Thousands over the years we have given. Just because obviously, we believe, we also believe in, as making sure that we touch something that's special to each of our keepers here. Areas that they want to help out, we want to make sure we listen to as well. And most zoos do that same thing. Tell me a little bit about the different roles that you can have in a zoological park as a keeper. You heard me say at the beginning that Allyson is the Training and Enrichment Coordinator on top of being the Wetlands Keeper. What does that mean?
I really glad you said that, because not only am I those two things, but I'm also on a bunch of committees too. I was on our safety committee, I was on our AZA accreditation committee, I'm on our animal wellness committee. So smaller zoos, lots of shoes to fill. So typically one person will have a lot of different jobs, and it's not just all about me. Like, I can do my job without Jeff. I couldn't do it without our gift shop staff, our janitorial staff, our wonderful maintenance crew. It really takes a whole team, whole village to really make it one functioning zoo. You know, if they come and see these healthy animals, but there's trash all over the grounds, they're going to think we don't care. So we really do need each other, and that's what I really like about ZooMontana especially. Is that it's such a small, tight-knit community that we have such freedom to be able to, like Jeff said, pursue our passions within zookeeping.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, because that's exactly how I think all zoos operate, is that no one wears a hat that somebody else doesn't wear. And what I mean by that is there's no one job that's above anybody else. You know, it is a village. It is, you know, it is a community. It's a nonprofit, so we all have to work together to make that happen. So thank you for believing in that and understanding that concept. That means a lot, obviously, to us at the zoo, but to our guests as well, which is pretty cool. All right, so here's the fun question. What's your favorite animal you've worked with? And it doesn't even have to be here at ZooMontana. You've been at a couple places, including San Diego Zoo. So tell me the best animal that you've worked with in your career.
I have so many favorites.
I can imagine.
Each one has worked their way into my heart, even ones I really didn't think that were gonna.
I love that.
But the first one that comes to mind is a North American badger. His name was Tonka.
Okay.
I have his paw print tattooed on my wrist.
Love this.
Here. Yes. The reason he stands out to me is that I used to be really shy, outgoing but still shy, confident but not horribly, you know, overly confident. This badger, man, badgers go from 0 to 60, you know, half a second. So he taught me a lot of fake it till you make it, pretty much. Yeah, he was wonderful. Taught me about communicating with my co-trainers in the blink of an eye. We could look at each other and we'd know exactly what the other one's thinking. That way, the end result of our training sessions end up being a positive thing for him.
I love that. You know, and I think you'd be hard pressed to not find a zookeeper that is similar to that, where it's hard to pick out a favorite animal out of all that we've worked over the time. I think, but my story, very similar to yours, is I had a black vulture named Smedley who I worked with when I was a young trainer, and that bird taught me so much to be confident, which was amazing that an animal can teach you that, but they really can. So I love that you said that, because I get it. I really do. So tell me, what's your favorite thing about being a zookeeper?
Getting to be best friends with wild animals.
Love that.
And I do say wild animals. All of the animals that call ZooMontana home are still wild. You know, we rescue them. If I could see the animals that call this place home out in the wild, like living a good life, I honestly would prefer that. You know, I would love for all of the animals here to be out living their best life in the wild. But unfortunately, you know, most of them are missing a wing, or, you know, were a pet at some point. So I really like getting to see the little personalities. Each animal is so unique.
True.
Yeah, and getting to share that with other people, and they really see just the uniqueness of each animal. You know, being here in Montana, people have certain stigmas about animals. You know, going back to badgers. You know, I don't know how many times I've talked to, you know, farmers and ranchers that are not a big fan of badgers, but you know, they do work their way into their hearts after showing them a couple of cute videos and pictures.
I love that. I love that so much. And and you know, coming to work and being able to be around animals is therapy. You know, quite honestly, I don't know about you, but I know for me it is. Why did you want to become a zookeeper? What led you down that path?
You know, it was so long ago that I knew that I wanted to be a zookeeper. Okay. I was actually just talking about it with somebody this morning. I think I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I would just watch Jeff Corwin and oh my gosh, what is his name?
Crocodile Hunter?
Yeah,
Steve Irwin?
Steve Irwin. How could I forget Steve?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, I grew up watching him. He was like my hero, you know, and, you know, Animal Planet was awesome, and I love animals so much. It was just the rest is history, you know. It was my dream, and here I am doing it.
So, that's awesome.
You know, blood, sweat, and tears.
That's it. Yeah, but dreams can happen. You can make it happen. So obviously, a lot of kids out there watching right now probably want to know some advice on how they can become a zookeeper. What do you want to say to them?
Work hard. If it's something that you really want to do, just stick with it. If you can get like a job doing anything with animal care, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, something cool like I'm going to work with wolves. I took care of hamsters and, you know, guinea pigs and parakeets for 5 years of my life, and that actually taught me a lot about how to be a zookeeper. It's kind of the same. The animals was a little bit less dangerous. So yeah, try and get any animal experience you can. If you're in college or looking into college, there are zoo colleges around the country, some pretty awesome ones, and you can also get a degree in psychology. psychology, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Animal minds, human minds, we all have brains. Brains work pretty much the same way, just at different capacities.
Sure do, absolutely. You know, and I always like to put in there that don't be afraid to get your foot in the door and working a job in a zoo that maybe it's not where you want to be, but at least it's the right step in the right direction. I sold hot dogs and Pepsi for several years at the Columbus Zoo before I landed an animal job. So getting your foot in the door is a great way to do it as well.
I was luckier than that.
Yeah, you did.
I got hired straight into show biz.
See, look at this. And that's possible too, but don't be afraid to take other steps.
Networking.
Networking. Yeah, get to know people. Volunteering, great way to get in there as well. Some great opportunities. But Allyson, thank you. Thank you for all the hard work you give us here at ZooMontana. You know, obviously zookeepers, I think they are an appreciated group of individuals, but I don't think people quite understand the level of work that goes into working at a zoo. And I'm talking physical work. I'm talking mind, you know, it's intensive. Yeah, right? Exactly. That's why they're all in good shape. Unlike me, you're a director for a while, you kind of lose that. But nonetheless, thank you for everything you do, and we're honored to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. See you guys soon.